Showtime.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to JTraedz TV, where we discuss all stock-related content and much more. Today, guys, I wanted to do like a little 30-minute boot camp. Just gotta get everybody mind prepared, go over certain things, like I said, weaknesses versus strength, how to better prepare yourself, as the market is about to, be basically approaching again. Don't forget, guys, Monday we do have a holiday, MLK holiday, so market will be closed Monday, and we will presume that'll be Tuesday. So assume Tuesday. So today what I want to do, guys, is do like a little mini boot camp, guys. Go over like breaking bad methods, for example. Go over these like different little things that's stopping you from becoming a better trader and so forth. So this was something I created a while back, and going over these little talking points real quick, and then we'll go into some quick little chart and kind of better prepare ourselves going into next week. As far as the breaking bad method, like what are our weaknesses? A lot of us, like I said, we have the wrong mindset, not having a detailed plan, unstable work ethics, losing trade syndrome, losing money per trade, lack of track, and not having enough patience. And we'll start off with having the wrong mindset, and again, I'll go over what used to be my issue. So like me having the wrong mindset, I would start off good in the morning, and then I had kind of like this ADHD type complex where I will be focused 1 minute and then I'll lose focus, the next minute. And I had those issues before. So it's like my mind is set for the market, but then I started getting easily distracted. Next thing I know, I'm on Instagram. Next thing you know, I'm on, watching random YouTube videos that has nothing to do with the stock market, which causes a distraction. And then as the market is about to start, then what's happening? Then all of a sudden, I'm unfocused because I don't know what my entries, my exits, I don't have no game plan. So I'm going in with the wrong mindset. And I had that issue because now I'm guessing my way through the market instead of already having the right mindset going into it. That's where you fall in with not having a detailed plan. So whenever you have your detailed plan, again, of course, you always want to know and identify, okay, what is going to be my entry? What is going to be my exit? How much money am I willing to pretty much profit on this movement? Is it, is it a $2 movement, $5 movement? What is the game plan to what I'm trying to do? As far as my execution, having unstable work ethics is pretty much when you're not even studying your charts. You pretty much are, as soon as the market closed, you turn everything off, go about your business. In which, in some cases, I can't knock a lot of people for it. You may have a busy life. You may have kids to tend to and whatever the case may be. But for the ones that have a lot of free time on their hands, what do? They normally would log off and not study, not practice. Because you have to remember, guys, the market has already made its mark. The market is closed. Now what you need to do is go over the past chart history. Okay, what was the performance? What was the highs? What were the lows? What is the pattern setting up? Going into the next day, like trying to get ahead of things to have a better understanding. And then after that, that's when it comes in with losing trade syndrome. Because again, you didn't have the right mindset. You didn't go in with a detailed game plan. You didn't have a stable work ethic. Now you're having a losing money syndrome. So, losing trade syndrome. So that means like every time you hop into a trade, you're losing. You hop into a trade, you're losing. You hop into a trade, you're losing. You're getting frustrated, you're getting emotional. And instead of figuring out what did you do wrong and how to correct that wrong, you created more wrongs. You're digging a hole deeper and deeper for yourself. Now you're losing money per trade. So now you see how all of these are connected together as one. So you're already losing money per trade. Now, lack of track. You're not even writing anything down to try to fix yourself. Man, what can I do to better myself? What was my mistakes that I need to correct to be able, to do better, to be better? And then after that, the main thing that a lot of us have issues with is not having enough patience. and that, that comes a part of it. So the thing is, we want to start to correct everything. We want to have the right mindset. We want to have a detailed game plan. We want to have a stable work ethics. We want to have a winning trade syndrome, and we want to definitely, basically make money per trade. We don't want to have a lack of track. We want to stay on top of what we're doing. And last but not least, we want to have enough patience. So those are the things that we need to work on. And like I said, I've been in that position and went through those downfalls. And last but not least, and I know my thing's still an error on my YouTube, man. Is it lagging? Please let me know. I mean, it's like over the weekends it lags. Oh no, I was playing on this one. Let me see. And Ely. Let's go over Ely real quick. Ely. What is Ely? Ely, guys. Ely is environment, levels, entries, exit. Okay, what is your environment? Your environment is the market structure, the context of the market. Remember, the market always transitions to 4 different states within the market. What are those 4 states? Your 4 states, right here. Trending state, ranging state, breakout state, reversal state. That is your environment, trying to figure out what, how is the market performing, what pattern are we forming in order for me to put myself in a better position. So that, again, once you identify what state are you in, then you go off for that. Okay, after that, because that's your environment. Levels. What are your levels? Levels are determined price points of support and resistance levels in the market. That means support, resistance, of course, highs, lows, and so forth. And we already know what the last 2 are. Entries, you should know this by heart. The desired price point a trader chooses to enter a stock, and exit, we already know what that means. The desired price point a trader chooses to exit a stock. So we went over Ely, we went over the bad breaking method. So we went over all of those levels, guys. All right, let's go into our charts. Okay, my way of thinking. What do I think of? What goes through my head each day, each night before the market even opens? So what we'll do is we'll take SPY, for example, since that's the one I always keep track most of the time. So what I do is I go over 2 specific time frames. I go over my yearly time frame because I want to get a feel of the overall movement. Even within, the year, the month, or whatever the case may be. So I'll identify myself to make sure, okay, are we around some, certain key areas that, something, that could cause alarm. So my thing is, we're working back up. Let me see. Is my thing working, guys? It's like over the weekend, I swear it's when like my whatchamacallit has issues. Is everything working fine, guys? Because I don't keep getting error on my whatchamacallit. So right here, going into next week, I see right here we're hitting the strong trend line. That's going to put us around the 690, 696 area. So, excuse me. So I'm definitely keeping my eyes peeled. I'm keeping everything on track, watching everything from these levels here. So right there, going into next week, I already know we had a high right around 696 this week that just passed. So I know what the highs was, I know what the lows is. So all you do is just take these highs, these lows of this week that we're in right now, going into next week, and utilize these specific areas. So because that was the performance from this week, Monday through Friday. So as far as this week's high, we went as high as 696.09. The lows, we went as low as 686.04. So all you do is just take those 2 specific price points with it that we had this week, take it to next week, because we know what we need to break out in order to get that, to get that movement to the upside. We know that we need to break above what? We need to break above that 696, on up, 698 up to 700. So we know we need to break out this week's highs in order to, create even higher price points. However, if we start to pull back, we know that we have that level that we're trying to hold at this time, which is around 686, wasn't it? 696, 686, should be 686. Yeah, 686. So 686 lows. So if we crack this level below 686, we know we have room to fall down towards these lower price points, even down towards the 13 moving average, 13 EMA, which is going to be around 79. So that means that we got to blow past 85, 84, 83, 82, 81, back down towards this 13 EMA, which is going to be around the 670s. So once I try to identify myself with that on a yearly basis or the yearly time frame, okay, now I'm taking into consideration. Now, okay, let me go in a little deeper. So from here, okay, now let me look into my 12-hour time frame, because I want to see, okay, how are we holding up on there? And let me see if I can bring up a 12-hour real quick. Let me see. Where's my 12-hour time frame? Well, yeah, here we go. 12-hour. Yeah, guys, if it is laggy, I do apologize. I mean, it's like it started, I don't know, over the weekends it does that. Weekdays is fine, but weekends I always have issues. I don't know why. Like, it does that on weekends. It's weird. All right, let me see. SPY. Let me go to my, 180 chart. And then I identify even with these levels. Like I said, I go back just to confirm, just to look at everything. Look at these areas, okay? How is the performance? How is the patterns holding? What are we looking like so far? Looking like we underneath the 9 EMA, about to damn near push back down towards the 20 EMA, towards the, back down towards the underneath 190s and so forth. Look like we may be getting a nice little, somewhat of a little downtrend like setup. So all I'm doing is identifying myself, okay, is the market holding strong, in other words? Is the market holding strong for a possible good bounce back up to the upside? Or are we starting to see a little bit of weakness where I can see a little bit more pullback? Kind of put myself on a more of the, shorter mindset for the time being until we, buy a step back in and we get that bounce back up to the upside. So I see an upper shadow. Again, I see weakness. I see red candles setting up. Going into next week, I do see a little bit of weakness, but I definitely want to keep my eyes peeled to see, can we hold above certain price points? I know we got room to fall back down towards 686 because that's where we had a strong bounce in Wednesday. Had that nice move back up to the upside. So right now, again, all I'm doing is just identifying myself with the setups. So I see that we have an uptrend, but we started to, get a show a little bit of weakness. So we had a strong bounce here. You can clearly see around 686. Had a nice strong bounce back up to the upside. So I know where buys can be located. We know we have a little area right around here, 690, 689. And then we also have this bottoms right around 686. So as I'm identifying with myself, trying to prep myself up going into next week, all I'm doing is trying to identify myself with different price points, where we can pull back down to, what could be a good little area, buys could possibly use. Now, the reason why I'm pointing towards this 689 is because I'm looking at this old key level here. Old resistance can turn to what? Possible support. So I want to see can buyers, utilize this old resistance area for a possible pullback bounce. So I want to see if buyers going to be able to hold going into next week. Can we stay above this 689, 690 level? So I definitely want to keep my eyes peeled to see can we hold this floor for that possible move back up. If we do get that push back up, okay, I know that what's going to be the intended area that we can push back up to. Because we got to remember, that strongest area was 686. So we cracked 686 on down towards the 690s. 680s into the 689s. I know that we're going to have a nice little bounce back possibly towards that 686, and we'll go into the 1 hour time frame so I can break that down to you as well on what else do I watch to kind of prep myself up for the upcoming week. So okay, let's get rid of this. Let's go to a 1 hour time frame. All right, so let me go to my 1 hour, to the main thing I normally watch, that's my go-to, is my 1 hour time frame. So let me bring that up real quick. I know I got it somewhere. Where did I save it? Is it down here? Yep, right. Yeah, this is my 1 hour time frame. All right. Go over a little bit, bring this down, my little RSI, and right here. So I started to map out, the supply zone. I started to map out the demand zone. I mean, this was, I had this mapped out as demand zone, but the route and the way that would look like we're going based off of this setup, I mean, it looked like we're starting to curl. Chart Queen, what's up, Queen? I'm just doing a little mini boot camp real quick. I mean, I'm gonna soon be off. So I'm just going over a quick little breakdown. My ways of thinking, how do I prep myself going into the upcoming weeks and so forth, how to take this week's performance going into next week's possible, performance. So what I'm doing is I'm breaking it down bit by bit, showing everybody, my thought processes. So I went through the yearly chart, then I went through the 12-hour chart. Now what we're doing is going inside of those candles, now going into a 1 hour chart. So I'm just trying to show people my way of thinking, my thought process is how I prep myself up for the following, for the upcoming weeks. So right here, guys, I just go off of my patterns. I go off of like psychological levels. So now I do have two different types of charts set up for my 1 hour. So for right here, this one I have set as my long, because you can see right here we have an uptrend. So I also have one set for a short. So the short was the one that kind of gave us more the idea. This is the one I called out last week. So let me go. See, I have it set up right here, guys. See, I have my chart set up. I have one for longs. This is the one right here because I have an uptrend set up. And then I have one for shorts. See, it faces the opposite way, right? So I have two steps to kind of get an idea on, the direction, the true direction, as we go into a new week. Are we gonna start an up, a downtrend, or are we gonna, stay on this uptrend? So now the reason why I have a downtrend set up as well, because we're falling underneath the 200-day moving average. Now this was the area I called out Friday. So as we got that nice pullback, this is what I called everybody to say, guys, look for this area around the 686. We got that nice little bounce, and then that was Wednesday. I'm sorry. Friday we got a pullback down towards the 690s. I told everybody to be mindful about the 690 going from this trend line down to this trend line. Looks to go for a possible trend line bounce. So what made me call this out? Because the aggressive pullback we had. So normally when I see an aggressive pullback and I'm seeing consecutive red candles in a row, I'm seeing red. I know we're aiming for a specific target. Those sellers or the puts are going for a specific target. And once they hit that target, they're going to get out of that position. Here come your buyers stepping in to push it back up to the upside. So Friday, I called out this area here. Right here. Let me go to it real quick. And it was based off of old areas. You can see right here. This is why I have them titled out. Wednesday's low of day, Monday's high of day, last Tuesday's high of day, last Wednesday's. But you see how I got them all labeled out, and they all make sense. So look, Monday's low of day, 686, right? 686, go back a little bit. Let's see. I think I moved it though. Let me see. Monday. Bam. Monday's bounce. See what I mean? Every line holds some type of importance on, where, the buyer stepped in at or seller stepped in at. So, again, once we got that massive pullback, these first two red candles down, I told you guys, whenever you see an aggressive pullback or an aggressive spike, you're always setting up to do the opposite in due time. That's just like right here. We had an aggressive pull. That was Wednesday. We wound up reversing right along where? 686. Went from red to green and then had that nice bullish movement back on up. Good swing trade. 686 up towards 685, almost damn near $9 profit in return. So Friday, I had these levels marked out as well, hitting this trend line. So I was anticipating that we was gonna do a rotation from the purple trend line down to this purple trend line. So what I was doing was to analyze to see, okay, can we look for a possible trend line bounce? That's why I told everybody Friday, as we were pulling back, look towards that 690 to see what buyers step in, but a nice push back on up, and we sure enough did. After we dumped on off, buyers started to step in. We got that push from the 690s all the way back into the 693s, 694s, and so forth. So, but this is what I do to kind of prep myself for each week, because you got to keep in mind, each of the black lines, these are intradays. Every black little vertical line, that's intradays. Intradays. These gray walls, this is post-market, pre-market. Post-market, pre-market, post-market, pre-market. So all I do is just put them all together to kind of figure out a pattern. So, going from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all I'm doing every single time is try to read and understand the patterns. I look at my indicators as well. Are we above the 200? Are we below the 200? Right now, we're below the 200. So I'm expecting a little bit of pullback, down toward the downside to see what buyers going to step in. So as we're looking like we're about to pull back, now I need to identify, okay, where have buyers came in before, back down off of these lows. We see that we have these levels here. We have the 689. We had a nice little bounce. We know down here, 686, we had a nice little bounce, and so forth. So I try to identify myself, try to prep myself, because I'm kind of trying to draw a vision in my head. I'm like, okay, could we pull back down post-market into, pre-market? And once we do pull down into these levels, could I see these buyers step back in, hold these key levels for that move, right back up to the upside? So I'm always trying to get ahead of things, trying to figure things out, trying to look, go back a little bit, trying to understand, where buyers came in aggressive, try to get old key levels that we can pull down to, that we can bounce from, utilize. And that's basically what I do. So right now, as I told everybody, even Friday, I said, guys, the market look like it's still looking a little weak. I see upper shadow, and it looked like we're starting to cup a little bit. So I gave everybody a heads up, because based off of what? A pattern that I see right in front of me that looks inverted. So I told everybody we could have a what? Inverted cup and handle pattern. So, what strategy is this? I mean, Charlie Queen, it's just a little simple routine that I use, just based off the hourly time frame. So, what I'll do is I'll go off of basically the movements that the chart made. I'll try to locate psychological levels. So before I made this little area yellow was actually green, because this was the buying area. This was like every time we come here, buyers a step in. Come into the zone, buy a step in. Come into the zone, buy a step in. Zone, buy a step in. Every time we enter this area, sellers, sellers, sellers. So what I did was, I also was either trying on rejection at the yeah. So what I did, and that's all I did, Queen. All I did was just take my tops and match it, and then I'll make a duplicate copy, and then go down and find, okay, like try to match it up. So like I'll find like another area here. Okay, I see this area held there but strong resistance. And look, we're going from this trend line down to this trend line, right? Can we turn resistance into possible support? So that means as you pull back down into post-market and pre-market, okay, could buyers step in and go for a nice reversal back up to the upside. So as we are pulling back down this way, okay, I'm looking this way to see, okay, where are low, areas where buyers stepped in before. So I'm looking at these key areas right here. Old higher days based off the past. So all I'm doing is looking at old key areas where buyers stepped in before. Where buyers stepped in before. Why? Because that used to be old resistant areas. What was once resistance can now be what? Utilized for support. Now that we're on top of those price points. Because when we were underneath, pullback. Underneath, pullback. Now we're on top, bounce. On top, bounce. So all I'm doing is taking old areas that we're on top of now and try to see, can we utilize it for support now? So that's what I try to figure out, my setups, my next incoming setup. Okay, how can I be preparing myself after we come, basically down from this little downtrend setup we have, because we got to remember the market is going to be closed Monday, so we're going to have a free day going into Tuesday. So, but from Thursday and Friday, I see we have somewhat of a downtrend setup. Look like we could be curling down this way. As we curl down this way, okay, if I'm looking for a long position, what levels could I specifically be looking for? So all I'm doing is going off of these old key areas where buyers have came in before. Pull back, bounce. Pull back, bounce. We had a major bounce right here. And again, what was this? That was last Monday's high day. If we go back a little bit, where did you bounce? Right here. Last Monday's low of day where we had this bounce. See? All I did is go right this way. And where did you bounce? Last Monday's low of day. So as we're coming back down this way, okay, now I'm trying to figure out, okay, what's going to be the possible next bouncing opportunity? Yeah, because we already set up for a downtrend. So if we do get a little pullback, okay, what are some key areas where buyers have came in before? So we came down around last Tuesday's high day, which is around 686.62. We had a bounce right here. We did a nice red to green. We already caught this one from Wednesday, red to green. That was around 686. So as we're pulling back down this way, I'm going to be keeping my eyes peeled on these key levels to see if buyers going to come in and try to utilize these moves, utilize these price points for the movement back to the upside. So that's all I'm trying to do is just identify myself with these different areas. Why do I think we can see some more pullback? Because we're falling underneath that 200-day moving average. So I'll erase this to show you real quick, Queen. So let me make a duplicate copy of this on the short side, and let me clear everything off. I'm gonna clear everything off real quick. So I'm gonna clear everything. So right now, look, all I'm doing is looking at this 200-day moving average. You see how the 200-day moving average, we always find our way back around it? See? You leave from it, get overextended, pull back to it. Leave from it, get overextended, pull back to it. Leave from it, get overextended, pull back to it. So what are we doing now? We're underneath that 200-day moving average. So what I'm expecting is a little bit of pullback coming down this way. So what I'm expecting is, okay, buy step in after we have a nice little sell-off for that possible bounce right back up to what? That 200-day moving average, because now that we're underneath it. So when you was on top of it, yes, you can utilize it for possible bouncing opportunities. And again, when you're underneath it, you can use it for, find these lows for that pull right back up to that 200-day moving average. So all I'm doing now is looking at the rotation. We ran through it towards the upside, now falling back through it towards the downside. So I'm expecting some type of rotation from, tops to bottoms, from bottoms back to top. So as I'm looking at strong key areas where buyers have stepped in before. 686, 689, and these key levels back here. So all I'm trying to do is identify myself as we come, for this pullback and this possible pullback bounce. So as we come back this way, I will be looking for buying opportunities back towards some key levels where buyers stepped in. Again, we can take all these old key levels that used to be resistance, now can be utilized for support. We can take these old highs here. I can go ahead and mark it off real quick. I'll mark it off. And all I'm doing is I'm trying to get myself situated for next week. So I can just go in here, look for some old highs. Where's my line set up? Come on now. Come on. There we go. Take some more highs here. Bam. Take some more highs here. Bam. Take some more highs here. Bam. And so forth. And then lows. Lows. And here we go. See? And that looks more like a what? Demand zone. So even before I even draw, even before I even put a block, look right here. Look like every time you come in within this little area, buy your step in. So that look like that can be more of a demand zone, right, Charlie Queen? So if I take this little area that we just drawn out, right, make that green. You see, every time you enter the green, bias. Enter the green, bias. In around that green, bias. Enter into green, bias. So that look like more of a bull's territory, a buying territory, versus if we go up, a seller's territory, because every time you come up here, sell off. You can clearly see the setup right there in your face. So that means I need to change that one red, of course. So let me change that to red. And shout out to what's my guy named Legendary who taught me on how to make it transparent. So my slow self, I didn't know how to do it at first, but he taught me how to do it. Shout out to him. So yeah, so you can kind of see like every time we enter like in and around this little area, you can see that's a supply zone, right? You run up, reject it, run up, reject it, run up, reject it, run up, reject it, run up, reject it. So we know that's a strong supply zone, right? So it looked like the sellers kicked the buyers out. And then the sellers came into the buyers territory where the buyers kicked the sellers out. So you see that chart, Queen? So it's like it's going from one territory to the next, right? They kick you out. You go into the bull territory, they kick you out. So you can kind of see the back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So right now, it looked like we're getting kicked out of the supply zone from the sellers, now pulling back this way, as we're about to slowly enter into what? A possible buy zone coming up soon. That's going to put us around, look like around the 689, 688. Because I see, before we come all the way back down to the 686, look like we're going to have these levels first. So it look like we're going to have the 688s, and around right around these levels first for that possible bounce. So what I'm expecting is a nice little overextension on the downside, pull back into a good little demand zone where buyers can step back in and go for that reversal back up to the upside. So that's what I'm anticipating based on how this is setting up going into next week. Because we already ran up after this nice pullback bounce. We went up Thursday, started to sell off from Thursday into Friday. So it looked like from the way this is setting up that we could pull back. When Monday's going to be closed, of course. Going into Tuesday, about these lows right here to see if these buys going to hold this level here, trap those sellers, and get that nice reversal back up to the upside, and so forth. So, also, I see this little area here that once we do bounce, we got this low here. Oops. Go back right about here. Yep, right where we at. So, all I'm doing is taking that low, and look where we at. So we cracked that low, we going down to this low. That's gonna be around 690. From 690, you got these bottoms towards the 689, 688, where I think we could get a nice little pullback. This little area where I think buyers may try to hold and go for that reversal right back up to the upside. So yeah. Exactly. See, 688. See, you agree with me. See, around 688. I'll say the same things. So right here, 68, we had a like 688, 689 bounce right here. So I think as we pull back down, right, just kind of like we did before, look where your buyers came in at. Around 689, 688, got that nice little bounce back up to the upside. So I agree with you that once we, get this little flush, this last little second, last thing of pullbacks right here, where buyers can step in and go for that nice reversal back up to the upside towards these lows up here, basically back up towards the 691s, the 692ish levels. Basically like from these bottoms back up to these tops right here, what was once support be resistance. So this is what I see. And tell me if you agree with me, Queen. Tell me if you agree with me. This is what I see. So I see a crack below this level here. And I believe that we could come down like somewhere in this little bracket where they go start buying back up and pushing their way back up towards this way. Something like this where you get that nice reversal back to the upside. So continue on off in red and then get that transition back over in green, almost like this, back up towards these highs. So after we get back towards these highs, we know we got to deal with the 93s and 94s again. These areas here and here. So you agree? What you think? What you think, Sean Queen? What you think, Queen? Because, that would be a good thing. And I'm going to tell you why. If, like I said, if they can hold this level, that could create somewhat of a uptrend. See? Because you already got these bottoms at 86. And if those buys can hold right around this 80, about 88 level, that'll create a higher low, right? That'll create somewhat of a higher low. So that'll create a second bottom. So once we get this pullback and we trap those sellers right here, hold this level and get those buys to reverse, that'll give us a second, because again, we already got a strong pullback Wednesday, right? That was around 686. If we are trying to build our way back up, we should be going up a little bit higher. So if 686 held, I'm looking now towards 688. So around 688, because it looks like it's going by twos, correct? Because you already got a 686. Next level on up is 688, creating a what? Higher low. So that's what I'm thinking, that we can pull back down to, buyers can hold, and then get that nice push and test right around the 691s, to start off with first right here. And then if we do get this break, then yes, I can see 693 to 694 back up to these highs here. Friday's highs, right about here. So for this nice reversal back to the upside. So I'm good with that game plan, Queen. I'm good with it. I'll rock with it. Get this, finish, have them finish selling off and look for these, possible bottoms and this nice reversal back up. And again, that will give us somewhat of an ascending triangle pattern setup or some type of reversal to try to go back on this uptrend. So I agree. I definitely agree. So yeah. So I guess, me and Queen in agreement. So after this, I'm expecting a little pullback right around this little key level for that move right back on up. Because guys, keep this in mind. Look at these lows, right? So, I know you're asking, Jay, okay, if we bounce, what can we, where can we move back up to? You just take these areas here. See where we had these lows at? Right here? See where we at? So we crack, right? What was once support. Once we drop and get that bounce, can turn into what? Resistance, right? So that means that can be your first key level to take profits, because that'll be that level here. I am new. There you go. I ain't doing this with you, Hardware. I ain't doing this. So yeah, guys. So that would be the game plan. So once we get, I can't with this guy. So once we get this crack underneath 91.33, right? We had these old lows. That was Tuesday's lows. Get this little pullback down this way. I do expect some buying opportunities to set up right here, but a nice reversal right back up, towards the 91.50s. So I do expect a little pullback, bounce from here to here to start off with. Once we can get this break above this price point, yes, we could go back to retesting. 93 to 94, going back up to Thursday and Friday highs. Because again, the goal is to go from the demand zone back into the supply zone. I cannot with Hardware right now. I can't with him. But I'm glad to see him in good spirit, boss. I'm glad to see you, man. Again, shout out to you, Hardware. Shout out to you, boss. But yeah, so as of now, we know that every time we enter around the supply zone, bear step in. Supply zone, bear step in, step in, step in, step in. And you clearly see that we cannot break above that or bypass the supply zone, because those sellers are protecting this level very, very tough. Same thing on towards the bottoms. Every time sellers come down, where are your buyers stepping up at? Right here at the demand zone. 686, 688. Every time you come down, buyers are trapping those sellers and pushing it right back on up. So you're rotating back and forth. You're going from sellers, supply, demand, supply, demand, supply, demand, pretty much. So all we're doing is going back and forth. So the question is, which way do you think that we can really, really, really move? Like, do you guys think that, sellers can come in aggressive and yank and go for a strong pullback? Or do you think this is going to be a temporary pullback where buyers can step in aggressive and go blasting right back, bypass the supply zone, right into some new, price points, 689, back up towards the 700s. So, how many think we can pull back and bounce and break it possibly into some new highs? How many think that sellers can come in and then crack into some new lows? So what do you guys think? Because again, we know we got to bypass this area to get up towards the 98s to 700s. Got to bypass this level. That's on the buyers. Buyers need to come in strong. Same thing with sellers. Sellers gonna need to come in strong if they want to see back down towards the 85s, 84s, and so forth. Basically back down to these old bottoms. All the way back down this way. See, but we can't see this because where? You got a big wall of buyers protecting this level. So all you're doing is rotating back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So right now, due to this week, we already got kicked out of the supply zone, coming back down damn near to now what? The demand zone. So we know that we got some pullback coming right into this territory. So will the buyers be ready and set as those shorts or as those sellers are coming in to attack? Will they be ready to block them? You know, push them out of their position right back on up to the upside? Or will we have more sellers where they can conquer this level and pull back down to even lower price points? So before we think too far out, let's start off with an easy. Are we true? Okay, so you thinking upside. So with that being said, hardware. So what I'm expecting, and this is why I drew out with Troy Queen earlier. So if we're gonna kick off, and yeah, I forgot about the Netflix thing, and thank you for bringing that back up. So yeah, so this is what I'm expecting, boss. Pull back down into this demand zone, right around this 688 level, for that nice reversal back up. And like I said, if we can get that correctly, that'll give us a start of a possible uptrend going into next week. See, because you already had these lows Wednesday of this week here, 686. So I'm thinking that the lows start off Monday. Monday close. Tuesday is going to be around 688, building up a higher low, but that possible push back up to the upside. You know, knock out this 91 level first and foremost, get that out the way, push our way back into the 93s, 94s, and so forth. You know, taking out these old highs from Thursday and Friday and so forth, where buyers can come in aggressive and break right through the bears territory into some new highs towards the 98s, possible 700s. So I agree. So I mean, that's what I'm thinking first and foremost. I'm thinking that way too. So I think we're gonna fall back down. Buyers gonna be, getting prepared, getting ready. Catch those sellers right around this level and push that bad boy right back on up. So I'm in agreement. So okay, guys, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, let me color code it. For a lot of people don't know what I'm talking about. Let me color code it real quick for those who don't know. All right, let me go to red. All right. So what I'm anticipating is a pullback. Get a nice little pullback from the sellers right into this demand zone, and then for buyers to step back in. For buyers to step back on in and buy back on up and reverse. Something like this. Come back on down. Catch those sellers right into this bear bulls territory. Have those buyers buy up. Get that nice little push right back up to the upside. The video looking super interesting after the close. Okay, let me take a look at it too. So yeah, so that's what I'm anticipating. We're going to get this pull back down towards this 688-ish level and get that nice bounce back up to the upside, creating a higher low from 686 Wednesday to possible Tuesday 688, and a nice little move back up. That's what I'm anticipating. So we'll see, boss. We'll see. All right, let me see. Saying the video's looking nice. Let me look at it on the 1 hour real quick. Appreciate you, boss, for bringing that up. Appreciate you. All right, NVIDIA. How we looking on NVIDIA? 186. All right, 186. How we looking on mine? Do I have a 1 hour set for this one? No. Probably don't have a 1 hour set on that one. We'll do it together, though. We'll figure it out. All right, let me go ahead and clear this out. We're going to start from the beginning. We're going to try to figure this out. NVIDIA. All right. So what pattern do we got right in front of us right now? Look like it's just like a big ass range. Let me see. So I'm trying to put it together. I'm trying to see how I can start this. I see. I didn't see that. I see that big red candle up there. I see it now. Now I see it. Okay. So, all right. I did not notice that too just now. It's crazy. Got these bottoms where buyer stepped in. Right around when buyer stepped in. Lows. 92s. So we went up as high as 92s. We never got that 92 breakout. 92s. Then wiggle our way down towards the 89, 80s ish. The lows on this. We at 81, 81, 36. And what's this low here? All right. I'm also look at my 12-hour chart too as well, boss. So bottoms right around 82. I mean, we could go for, I mean, we're gonna have to re-break where we at right now, 86. No void. Oh, you talking about what? Oh, this one right here? Okay. Okay, I got you. Oh, let me look at the 12. Let me see, can we get a better vision on that? Let me see. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out, boss. I got you. We're gonna figure this out nicely on the video. Let's also look at the 12 on this bad boy. See if we can get a better little vision. Alright, the video. Alright, how we looking on you? See, any clear cut sign? What's my old setup I had? So it looked like we falling right back in this. Let's see. Looked like we fell right back in this downtrend again. Like we tried to break out hardware, and it's like we fell right back in this downtrend. We tried to break out of this multiple times. Every time you break out, pull back, break out, pull back, break out, pull back. Try to break out, hit around that 190, right back on down. So, and we back underneath this trend line again. So, back underneath that. So they tried to go for the breakout, boss, but we couldn't succeed. We couldn't stay above 190. So we pulled right back on down. That could lead to more pullback coming, possibly. Because now that we back underneath this bad boy, you already know this candle already closed out. So that means that new candle coming in gonna close this way, go gap down in some type of way, back down towards the 85s to possible 8250s. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah. Oh no! I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's not. And I agree with you. So that's what I'm saying. I think we're gonna pull back first, because I mean we had a strong bounce right here. So I agree with you. So you know, right around what was this? Once we got it back above, was this 82, almost 8250? What was the lows on these? 80, almost 80, 180.50 of the 82.50. So it seemed like the bias came in right here. I mean, we had a strong angle line. This was a good one right here. Good Lord, this was a beautiful play. Came down towards what, 170? That was like a $20 push back up. Oh, that was beautiful. Even on a drop. I mean, look at this red to green move. So this is the type of stuff I like right here. When it's a clean and cut, I love that. Red to green, easy to read that crap versus this choppy bull mess that I hate. I hate trading. When it's just, that's why I love the way. And I'm gonna show you the trade for Tesla, boss, that I took. And I'm gonna show you why I was turned on by Tesla. What turned me on that one? That was a beautiful setup on Tesla, Friday. But yeah, like this is like it's trying to. I mean, I see that we falling back underneath this little area, so I'm thinking that we're gonna get some pullback first. That we may do like a green and red move. You see how you went straight up, green up, and then like you coming right back on down. So yeah, I think we may see some pullback first. So I'm gonna watch between 85 to 82.50 first to see can those buyers hold. But if we get a full crack, I mean, you'll go from this trend line all the way back down to this trend line. That'll put us back down towards like the 180s. That'll put us right back down from this trend line to this trend line. So that'll put us as close towards, 180, 178. Back down to those bottoms. I mean, last time we hit this area, we had a nice bounce back to the upside too. So around the 178s, 180s. So we may get a nice little strong sell-off, and then that bounce could occur. That's what I'm thinking. Nice little red to green setup. Could be preparing itself. So I agree with you on that. Wouldn't be bad. I mean, it'd be what, almost a $10 push back up. You can hold 180 back up to 190. That's $10. I mean, from here that'd be almost a $10 drop, and then I would like to see a $10 push. I mean, look what happened here. Had what, damn near a $20 drop, then a $20 push. So I mean, I could see a $10 pull and a $10 push. I could see that. That'd be nice. So I can see that. Oh, and let me show you my Tesla. What turned me on about Tesla real quick? What was my turn on about Tesla? That shit was sexy. And I know you hate Tesla, but I ain't gonna lie. What made me love it Friday was this beautiful stuff. What, it was on the 5? Yeah, I think it was on a 5-minute time frame. Where you at? Let me go to my Tesla on the 5. Where you at? I can go to this one. Where's my 5-minute? Oh, there we go. Yep, right there. When I saw that, let me go to a bigger time. I mean, so y'all can see that. Guys, this is like one of my favorite things I love to trade. Favorite. clean and cut. I love these types, you know, because it avoids you from being in choppiness. Like this. Okay, so okay, if you see this consecutive move up and you don't want to chase, normally when you see this, you're going to get the opposite in due time. That's like whenever you see, plus like I said, overextension, because look where your VWAP is at, look where your 9MA started to turn, because you started to lose value. See that? You see how your VWAP, let me maximize it just a little bit more. All right, look very closely. So you notice how your VWAP started to lose value right underneath, what is that, almost 43.60, and also your 9MA. So notice how they started to curl already. This caused the overextension. So, but you got consecutive candles up. This is what I love seeing because it's clean and cut. So whenever you see something like this and you don't want to chase, set yourself up, watch for these key levels that we're going to hold, right here, these tops, and look for that possible transition. And look at this. Beautiful transition. Green to red. That's just like if you miss this position, you get red candles, consecutive red candles. Okay, look for that possible bouncing opportunity. So when you come down here and you see consecutive reds, look for an area where buyers are going to be waiting. Which, remember I told you, Tesla likes to move by $5 increments. Because I told you how many times I kept calling out 435, 435, 435, 435. This is the area that I was waiting at. Remember? 435. Came down to 435. We had a nice, beautiful transition. Red to green for that move right back up towards where? 440. So, those are the clean cut moves I love. That's my favorite things I like to trade. When they just easy to read, clean and cut. If you miss this move up, play it down. If you miss that move down, play it up. It's just clean and cut, beautiful. That avoids you from being caught in this bull crap. Like this, all the choppiness. I hate that. But whenever you got a lot of volatility like this and it's clean cut, play that. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Man, you too, boss. And I'll see you Tuesday, man. Thanks so much. I'm gonna soon be hopping off, guys. But yeah, guys, I went over the little quick little boot camp lesson, but yeah. So whenever you're setting up, guys, go over, like I said, look at your yearly chart. For me, I go over my yearly. I go over my 12-hour. From my 12-hour, I go into my 1 hour and 5 because I want to see on how we setting up. And like I said, that's how I knew to prepare myself for SPY, and I knew how to prepare myself for Tesla because I used my 1 hour charts. I understood the direction, the movement. Did I delete it? I might have deleted it too. Let me go back. On 1 hour on, I mean, even Tesla was clean cut, even on my 1 hour. Let me see. Did I draw it out? Let me see. I was calling out that move on Tesla for that bounce coming. Yeah, when I saw this candle, when I saw this straight move down, no consolidation, I told you we was going down purposely to a certain area. I told you it's gonna be around 435, right? From 435, you got the buy start to step back on in. Then you got that nice move back up to where? 440. Boom. Nice little beautiful bounce back on up. So anytime you see something like this, or you see that like a nice aggressive move, and you don't want to chase, we're going to be setting up. So that's when you identify, okay, where could we be pulling back down to? Vice versa. That's just like if you're going up. Look for a certain key area where sellers are going to be located for that nice movement back on down. If you don't feel like chasing, wait for these opportunities. Long up a shadow. It was a certain price point that we couldn't break above. We came back down underneath the, what was that, 452.50. From 452.50, you got that nice little transition back on down. Same thing. You went from, that was on a what, Monday? Same price point here up Tuesday. Double top. So, I mean, we go all the way back here, but see, I'm starting where the red candles are located. Underneath what price point? 452.50. I'm sorry, 452.50. That's top one. Then came down, back up towards the next day. Start around the same area. 52.50, double top. Nice pull back on down. See that? Double top. Easy little setup. Bam. Then you got a downtrend setup. Come up towards that trend line, reject it. But once you start to just step back and just read these patterns, I'm telling you guys, it gets easier and easier to understand these levels. For me personally, I use the 1 hour to understand the psychological movements. And another little trick you can do that a lot of people don't talk about, a lot of the times you can use your RSI off the, your dailies and all that. You can also use it on your 1 hour. A lot of people don't realize that. Like, I mean, think about it. See how we came down to these lows on Tesla, right? What happened right here on your RSI on your 1 hour? You got overbought. See how it's lighting up in blue? Anytime you're lighting up in blue, that means, I said overbought, I'm sorry, oversold. Every time you hit around there, that means oversold. So that means that could be a possible good buying opportunity to push your way right back on up. Vice versa. That's just like if you're going above, that means you're getting what? Overbought. And that's right here, right? You're getting overbought for that nice move back on down. I mean, look how it followed. See that? From these tops, boom, boom. See how we got overbought? Got it. See right here in the red? Came right back down to reality. See? So, but yeah, guys, I mean, other than that, man, I'm about to go ahead and lock it up. I just wanted to do a quick boot camp with you guys because I owed y'all that since I was missing for 2 days. It wasn't my fault. We had a family emergency. I'm sorry, so I wanted to make it up. And I will. Y'all, and I'll come back in tomorrow, too. I'm going to try to make up as much time as I can, man. So, I owe y'all that, man. So, I'll be back in tomorrow, too. No, not Monday. Well, live stream wise, but don't forget, Queen, the market is closed Monday. We have MLK Day, Martin Luther King Day, Monday on the 19th, MLK Day, Queen. So market is gonna resume Tuesday. So yeah, the market is closed. Market is closed. Now, matter of fact, I think I already got my Patreon set up already to let people know it's closed. Where's my little holiday thing? For those who don't know. For those who may want to jump into the market Monday knowing the market is going to be closed. So, let me bring it up real quick. Let me go to the market holidays. Come on. And then after that, guys, I'm about to be heading on out, man. But I just wanted to come through to show you guys some love. And let me bring it up. Holiday market for 2026. Come on. Where you at? NASDAQ. Let me go to my little list. There we go, NASDAQ. So y'all to go. So you guys know we not lying. Should be coming up. There we go. So don't forget, guys, Monday, January 19th, Martin Luther King Day, market will be closed. So don't be hopping in Monday. Just let y'all know, market will be closed Monday, but we will resume Tuesday. So I know I got a little lag on my thing, man. I'm just not noticing. It's like it's on over the weekends it lags. I don't know why it does that over the weekends. Alright, guys, but let me go ahead and head on out, man. Let me give a shout out to everybody who did come through. Y'all already know what I'm about to do. So, let me give love to everybody. So, double the chat, as always. You already know. Shout out to my mods, as always. Everybody be heading on out. So, you already know what time it is, guys. So, let me get my little clip up. And, again, wishing everybody a blessed weekend, because we still in the weekend, so today is Saturday. So, I'll be heading on out, guys. Hope everybody have a blessed weekend. For those who didn't come in today, I'll reset again tomorrow for our boot camp lesson and go over the Breaking Bad method and the Elite method. For those who didn't come in, I'll do another one tomorrow, because again, I want to make my days up to you guys since I wasn't here. What it was, Tuesday and Wednesday, whatever. I think it was Tuesday and Wednesday, and so forth. But yeah, man, guys, thank y'all so much for who did join me. Appreciate you. If you are new to my channel, as I told you guys, do your boy a favor. Go into my YouTube channel, smash the subscribe button. If you're ready to subscribe, like, share, comment. That goes a long way, because I wouldn't have made it this far if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you. If you're on Twitch or Kick, subscribe or follow to avoid ads. So other than that, man, thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. Y'all have a blessed weekend. And I'm going to try to come in and do another quick little boot camp lesson, as we do have some downtime for the market. Because, again, Monday, market is going to be closed. So, you guys stay blessed. You guys stay safe. Love y'all. Y'all ready.